Lylacgreen.
And this is
a magical moment.
Yes, it is. So, dear daughter, how are you?
I am absolutely wonderful.
Yes, this is a wonderful show. We're going to talk about power and the power of everything that is and was and will be.
Okay. Well, I thought we were going to announce that I was getting married. Okay. That's very powerful.
Well, we have an announcement. My darling daughter is being married this week.
Yay.
This is very powerful.
It is very powerful.
And we are also very happy that she has chosen this time of year, because with the coming of the season changing. Okay, scratch that.
Okay, scratch. Wait, hold on. Before we... Are we gonna... Do you want to announce... We don't have to announce it. Like...
We can. That's fine.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. You didn't tell me.
Well, you're like, we're just talking about power. I'm just like... Okay.
Hi, I'm Lavendergreen.
Hi, I'm Lylacgreen.
And this
is a magical moment.
We welcome you all tonight, today, this evening, whatever time of day you're watching this. And before we get into our project of power, we'd like to announce that my darling daughter is getting married this week.
Dun, 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 dun. Yes. Yes, I am. I am so excited. I can't wait to marry my wonderful fiancé.
Yes. And with all of that, that just shows that there is power in planning and being, and the power in the fact that you guys are going to be united as one.
Yeah, so it's very powerful when you join two energies, I guess is the word you could use for that. You join two energies together and it makes a great, powerful one.
Yes. And the one thing about power with unity, when two people come together, whether it be a man and a wife, whether it be two men, two women, two dogs, two cats, whatever. Don't want to leave anybody up. Whether it be that, the object is to unite it together as one, not as two separate entities. But with that said, when you join something, you always have to remember to still be yourself, be you.
Yeah, you don't let anyone take your power away from you. You just use them together as one. And that person's still going to have their power and you're still going to have yours. And you just have to figure out a way to unite the two together to make it better.
Yes. Well, with that, the idea of today's show is, as I said, power. And power comes from within. A lot of people use items such as crystals, selenite, fluorite, whatever makes you happy. But you use these as catalysts to make the power greater, to put into the universe, so that you can progress in anything that you really want to do or be.
Well, but why do people need tools?
Well, crystals are one of the really good items to use because crystals emit a lot of power themselves. They're from the ground. They absorb energy. And with a lot of people, they don't know where to put their power, and they get angry or they get upset and they don't know where to put it. So if you hold a crystal and you put all that power into the crystal, you save it for a later date and you use it.
So you turn that, I guess, negative energy or whatever, if you're angry, after you put it into that crystal, you can turn it around and use it for good?
Yes. Say I was really, really angry. Now, I could pick the crystal up and throw it, but, you know, that wouldn't help me much. But you take the crystal and you hold it and you put all that negative energy into the crystal. And then, after it's in there and you feel better, you take it and cleanse it. You put it in sea salt, rainwater, sprinkle herbs on it, sit in the sunlight, sit in the moonlight, whichever one that you feel more charged with. And then it's cleansed and you can start all over again.
Does that wipe away the energy though?
It doesn't wipe away the energy. What it does is it neutralizes it. So if it's negative energy where you feel like you're really, really stressed, or anxiety. Anxiety is a great one. Okay. People who have panic attacks, crystals are really good for panic attacks because you can hold them and just like rub them in your hand or just hang on to it really tight and put all that in there. Now you don't want to save that and use it again because you're going to absorb that negative energy and it's going to make you upset again. So you would want to cleanse it.
Makes sense.
But power isn't just with crystals. Power is with anything. I mean, people use power to achieve things in life. And power is just like anything else. It's energy, ever flowing.
Pretty much, yeah. The energy comes within and you use it for good, bad, ugly, whatever. I mean,
and a lot of people, a lot of witches, don't need to have the little tools. Tools are great. They help people. It gives you something to focus on. But you get to a point eventually when you're really good at it, you don't need the tools. You don't need to light the candle. You don't need to have that crystal. You don't need to sprinkle the herbs. All you need is the thought in your mind and put it in the universe and it will work.
yeah, so you pretty much just want to, you get to a point where you can channel your energy. And you don't have to worry about a tool or not. But if you know that you want something to happen for, obviously the greater good, because that's always karma. You use it for bad, you're going to get bad stuff to happen to you. So always try to channel your energy for the greater good. And it will happen. Sometimes it takes some time.
But what happens when you have somebody who, say they're married. This is just a for instance. Say they're married and they hit a rocky spot and they want to have all the other influences around them go away. And they're willing to do whatever it takes to get that influences going away. Are they using that energy to hurt those negative energies, or are they using that for the greater good?
Well, it might be for the greater good for them. They might be channeling it because they feel that that's the best thing that they need, but, sometimes they don't realize it's hurting whatever they're trying to do. You have to be careful when you're channeling your energy. You have to, try to weigh out the residual effects. There's always residual effects with things.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if I want something to happen for me, well, but that means I'm taking it away from someone else, like, is that okay? Or does that person really need it more than I do? You have to kind of
Which
weigh
is a
that
good point.
out.
It's the one thing that I like to teach people is when you're doing energy magic, which any spell is energy magic, when you're doing it, it's not black witchcraft, it's not white witchcraft, it's a fine line, it's energy. You need to be precise in what you say. You want it to happen, you want it to happen this way for the greater good of the universe. Not the greater good of you, not the greater good of them, not to hurt the other person, but the greater good of the universe, because things will end up working out the way they're supposed to be.
Exactly. You might see a person who is just a big jerk, and everyone sees that they're a jerk, but that person doesn't realize they're a jerk, and you might channel your energy that they some way, somehow come to a realization that they're a jerk, and in the long run, it helps them because they stop being a jerk, and they can be happier with themselves in life, and everyone else around them can be
But
happy
what happens
too.
if that person's happy with them being a jerk? That's my point. It's like when you accept people unconditionally, there are no jerks. You're accepting them unconditionally. If they don't work well in your world, you don't need to have them in your world. If they're your best friend and they're being the jerk, and you've realized that they're not working well in your life, then it's time to just let them go. Love them unconditionally, let them go unconditionally, but you don't need to be around it.
Yeah, that's true, but I mean, you can also channel your energy that you want to protect yourself from them being a jerk to you because you're in an environment where you can't get away from them.
This is true.
If you're at work or something and there's someone that's being a jerk to you, how are you supposed to get away from them? Quit your job? Well, you can't always just up and quit your job, so...
Well, I read one time that dealing with difficult people, especially in the workplace, and I've done this myself, people seem to act nicer to nicer people. So if you're having a hard time with somebody, if you're pleasant and you smile and you are nice. Doesn't have to mean that you're going to bend down and kiss their butt, but if you're nice with a smile on your face, they'll react nicer with a smile on their face.
Sometimes it takes time, but
Well, it
sometimes they
doesn't
could be
happen
like
like
bipolar, but like one day they're nice to you and the next time you see them they're complete jerks no matter how nice you are to them. And
But you'll notice eventually when you take on the persona of smiling, even if you're in a really bad mood and you walk in the door at work and you're in a really bad mood, the minute you walk in that door at work, you leave all the bad mood on the outside of that door and you smile. You are a happy person. You're nice.
that's what I do. Even when I'm having a bad day, I get a lot of people asking me, how are you just so happy? I have nothing to be angry about.
This is true. Anger, and we all have had it, is a useless emotion. Not to say that it's
power you don't
very,
need.
yeah, it's not very easily controlled. You get angry at things. The key to it is to let it go as quickly as it came. Let it dissipate into the universe. But a lot of people with power, I find one of the best things to do is when you're having a bad day, is to light a candle. It's sit there and stare at that candle and think of happy things. Think of what you would rather it be like. Envision the outcome. I was told a long time ago from one of my teachers to decide what part of life you want to play. Do you want to be the star of your own life? You want to look at it. You want to live it. You want to be it. You want to dream it. If you can look at your life or your situation and say, I want to be this part in the situation, and you can go to sleep every single night and vision how it's going to be every single day, it will be that way. Pre-planning, pre-paving, power of suggestion, power of positive thinking.
Thank you. You know, that just confirms me. I plan so far ahead. It's ridiculous. I probably shouldn't plan that far, but when I know a situation is going to be coming up, I start pre-planning, okay, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and it usually works out. Maybe not exactly step by step, but the outcome usually turns out the way I want it to, or the way that I've foreseen it happening.
A lot of people don't realize that you can picture the situation and you can picture the outcome, but you can't actually sit there and picture all the little steps in between because there's so many variables.
Right. Right,
But you have to
exactly.
remember what you want the outcome to be.
Exactly. It's like a movie I saw once. There's a guy who can see the future, and, you know, if I move my hand this way, then this outcome happens. If I move my hand that way, this happens. And there's just so many factors into one outcome, it's hard to pick.
But sometimes,
And things can be
even,
altered, too.
even if you try really, really hard and you're thinking really, really positive, and say a year goes by and you're still in the same boat, does that mean that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or does that mean that it's not supposed to be that way? That's the question I get all the time from people. But I tried.
I feel like it's just not supposed to be that way, or it's not that time yet.
I like to tell people, a lot of the people I speak to, and the people who ask me questions, I tell them every single day is a new path. Does not mean you have to continue on the path you were on yesterday. You can be on a new path every single day. For every door that opens, one closes. In fact, I wrote on Facebook the other day that I was going to run around and open all of the doors and let all the opportunities air out so that I can run around and choose new ones. It's a thought. If you have all kinds of opportunities swirling around in the universe for you, isn't it easier to take a step in a direction? Okay, take a step in a direction and you trip over a log. Do you lay there and cry? Depends how hurt you are. Or do you get up and you just keep going? I mean, there's always another direction. Kick the log, that's right. The log, it's the log's fault.
It jumped out at you.
But sometimes there's roadblocks, but the roadblocks aren't really roadblocks. There's parts in your life where you have to stop and think and reassess and choose. Do you continue to move forward Is it an omen that it's going to be a rocky road? Well, I kind of like rocks. I mean, if there's rocks in the road, my favorite thing to do is to throw them at the people who are causing me the issues. There's my positive thinking. They get out of my way. But you remove the rocks out of your way. Not necessarily throw them. But you remove them out of your way.
Throwing them's easier, though.
Throwing
It's
them
much
is
more
easier.
fun.
I know. But, you know, and then when you get to the doors, time people get to certain doors, the metaphorical door, not the actual door, and they're so afraid to open it to see what's on the other side. It's just another room.
I feel like that life's pre-planned for us and things are supposed to happen in a certain order. And yes, there are occurrences that could happen and change the outcome or whatever was planned for you. Yes, I do agree, but like you said, there's so many possibilities just thrown around, but I still think that there's one big picture for us.
See, I wouldn't necessarily agree that life is pre-planned. I would personally, and that's your belief that life is pre-planned, and that's good. I personally believe that everybody is born with a purpose in life.
Yeah, well, I think that too. I believe that,
But you remove them out of your way.
throwing them's easier, though.
Throwing
It's
them
much
is
more
easier.
fun.
I know. But, you know, and then when you get to the doors, time people get to certain doors, the metaphorical door, not the actual door, and they're so afraid to open it to see what's on the other side. It's just another room.
I feel like that life's pre-planned for us and things are supposed to happen in a certain order. And yes, there are occurrences that could happen and change the outcome or whatever was planned for you. Yes, I do agree, but like you said, there's so many possibilities just thrown around, but I still think that there's one big picture for us.
See, I wouldn't necessarily agree that life is pre-planned. I would personally, and that's your belief that life is pre-planned, and that's good. I personally believe that everybody is born with a purpose in life.
Yeah, well, I think that too. I believe that, I told you were immature and it's time to be a big boy.
It's on camera.
Yeah.
And Mike.
And so,
Go.
leave. So, pretty much, I believe that we do have a purpose in life. Like, everyone was here for a purpose. I wouldn't be sitting here for no reason. But I still believe that it's pre-paved. Like, obviously I'm here because life has, or the universe or whatever has a plan for me, but other things can happen in my life that can like change the course that I'm supposed to be on, but either way, I feel it's still going to lead me to the big outcome it's supposed to be.
Yes.
But
So-
I like to live my life like a storybook. I don't know.
So a lot of people believe that, there's a beginning, middle, and an end. I personally don't believe there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. I think it's everlasting. Just because when you pass this body doesn't mean the energy goes. I believe that you have a choice whether or not you want to come back and continue, especially if you haven't learned the lessons or achieved your purpose. You can continue on. Would you happen to know what your purpose in life is?
No.
Did you ever think about it?
No.
Okay. I've actually...
Do you think?
Oh, I know what my purpose in life is. My purpose in life is to help people.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's my purpose in life too, because I always seem to help people find a good path for themselves because they're not
Exactly.
on the right path or whatever, or for them to. I try to a lot of oddballs, okay? Like, I love all my friends, so don't even get me wrong there, but I try to a lot of the oddballs, but we all work together because we all like the same thing, and I help them be happy with themselves. Not, because just because you're raised in a family doesn't mean that you actually fit in with them. Like,
This is true.
Does
See,
that
I
make
always
sense at
believe
all?
that family, yes, you have your blood relatives, but those blood relatives doesn't necessarily make the proverbial family. Family are the people who love and care for you, are there all the time for you. Whether or not, you don't speak to them for 5, 6 years, you can still pick up the phone and pick up right where you left off.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, I mean, you might be in a family where you always feel like the odd one out, and you don't agree with their beliefs in life, and you feel like you know that you're not supposed to be with them, but you don't know another way, and then I come along and I show you a different way of life, and you're just like, oh yeah, you know what, that actually works for me, I just didn't know what it was called or whatever, and then they end up
freedom
being
of choice.
happier.
It's recently I stumbled onto distant family that I never knew about, blood relatives out in another country, and they kind of tracked me down, which has really been kind of exciting because of the fact that I've gotten to speak to these people online, not on the phone, but online, talking to these people that are relatives of mine. And it's interesting because I think I fit more with them than I did with the people that I lived around growing up. So it was,
Really?
yeah, that was exciting because these people were odd like me, to say. They understood, and they were interesting to talk to. And not that I don't care for the people that I grew up with, because they'll always be part of my life, and I do care for them very, very much. But the point is there's so many people out there, and it was a connection where all of a sudden we picked up, and it wasn't like we were strangers, we were connected. But I have a friend a very dear friend, who I met eons ago, back in 2nd grade, back when there was horse and buggies, probably before the horses, just the buggies, And at any given time, she can call me, and I haven't spoken to her in years, and when she picks up the phone and calls me, we can pick up and start talking like I talked to her yesterday. It's a connection that you will always have with certain people. But with that, we're going to take a break, and we're going to let the music enlighten you. And we'll be back shortly.
my monkey. Don't be like my
Welcome back. Wasn't that wonderful?
It's always wonderful listening to the songs.
Yes, I know. Power of three, power of three, power of three. Keep remembering that.
Power of pea rings. I'm just kidding.
Now.
Just kidding.
She loves them all.
I do.
Especially the guitar player. That's her father, in case anybody was interested.
Yes.
That was her dad, who's going to be standing right next to her. You know, kicking her, giving her away. Which we'll have to send her husband a thank you card.
I already sent him a sympathy card. That's my vows to him.
Which vows is a really good thing. That's a chance for you to promote your power, to put to words what's in your heart. Which brings another point. The items that's in your heart, that's energy. And the quicker you get the energy out there, the quicker you can build on that.
So I can't wait until my big day.
Yes. By the next show, she'll be a married woman, fat and pregnant. No. One can only wish. But that's besides, that's just me being a grandmother.
Gosh.
But with everybody's time and attention, we're going to close now. We're going to thank everybody for being here. And we all want you all to know that power is within. It's around you. It's about you.
It's in your mind.
It's in your mind. It's in your every inch of your being. So take the time each day to send some of that energy into the universe to help other people.
Yes.
And you can always contact us at
amagicalmoment@aol.com or on Facebook /amagicalmoment.
and we will answer you.
Yes.
But just remember, something as simple as a smile
Can change someone's whole world.